Hi, I'm Nyla. When your hands help people heal for a living, you develop this sixth sense about when something's off. That's what makes me good at my job as a physical therapist. But I never thought I'd need those instincts at home. 5 years ago, I married Daniel, this charming marketing guy with ambition practically leaking from his pores. We had it all mapped out: the corner office for him, my own therapy practice for me, then a house in the suburbs with a yard big enough for 2 kids and a golden retriever. The American dream, right? Babe, this new campaign is going to be the one that puts me on Vanessa's radar. That's what Daniel would say every few months, eyes bright with that determination I fell for. Vanessa Reynolds, the marketing director who could make or break careers with a nod. Lately, though, something had shifted. Daniel was coming home later, distracted when he was around. His eyes would dart to his phone whenever it buzzed. "You're working too hard. I barely see you anymore." "This promotion's a game changer, Nyla. Just hang in there a little longer." "You said that 3 months ago." And I meant it, but Vanessa has really been pushing me to step up. I believed him. Stress does things to people, and God knows I've seen my share of patients whose bodies literally locked up from workplace pressure. When Daniel texted me that afternoon, I wasn't surprised. "Got the promotion. Can't talk now. Meeting with V." That's when I decided to surprise him. 5 years together deserved more than a text celebration. I picked up his favorite champagne, ordered a custom cake with "Congratulations, Executive" written in his company colors, and even wore that blue dress he always said brought out my eyes. The office was quiet when I arrived at 7:30. Most people had gone home, but lights spilled from under the door of Vanessa's corner office. I balanced the cake box, champagne, and gift bag while turning the handle. The sound I made wasn't exactly a gasp, more like all the air leaving my body at once. Daniel's back was to me, but I'd know those shoulders anywhere. His hands were tangled in Vanessa's hair, her red lips on his neck, her designer skirt hitched up against the desk. What the actual hell? They jumped apart like teenagers caught by parents. Vanessa recovered first, smoothing her skirt with manicured hands. "Nyla, this isn't," Daniel started. "Don't you dare finish that sentence with 'what it looks like,' because we both know exactly what this is." "You should have called first," Vanessa said, like I'd interrupted a legitimate business meeting. The champagne bottle felt heavy in my hand. For a split second, I considered the satisfaction of watching it fly across the room. "Congratulations on the promotion, Daniel. Now I understand how you earned it." I dropped everything: cake, champagne, gift, wedding ring, right there on the carpet, and backed out of the office. My legs carried me to the elevator, down to the parking garage, and somehow into my car before the shaking started. I couldn't drive. My hands were shaking too hard on the steering wheel. I called Maya instead. "I need you. Now!" 20 minutes later, I was sobbing on Maya's couch, an untouched glass of wine in front of me. That bastard. I always thought Daniel was too slick for his own good. 5 years, Maya. 5 years down the drain. "What are you going to do?" Before I could answer, my phone lit up with Daniel's face. 10 missed calls already. "Answer it. Let him dig his own grave." I put it on speaker. "Nyla, baby, please. It wasn't what it looked like." "Really?" "Because it looked like your tongue was down your boss's throat." "It was a mistake, a one-time thing. I've been under so much pressure with this promotion." "So this is my fault somehow?" "No, it just happened. Vanessa was congratulating me and things escalated." "Things don't just escalate from a handshake to whatever the hell I walked in on." I hung up. Maya refilled my wine glass. "You know what you need to do, right? Find out how deep this rabbit hole goes?" The next morning, while Daniel was in the shower, I did something I'd never done before. I went through his phone. What I found made me physically sick. Text messages, emails, hotel receipts going back 6 months. Their little mistake had been happening since before Christmas. I forwarded everything to myself, then put his phone back exactly where it was. At lunch, I met Marcus, a graphic designer from Daniel's department. We'd talked at company parties, and he always seemed uncomfortable around Daniel and Vanessa. "I'm not trying to get in the middle of anything. Please, Marcus. I need to know. He fidgeted with his napkin. Look, it's not just your husband. Vanessa has a pattern. Last year, it was the sales director. Before that, some guy from finance. And everyone just looks the other way? She's untouchable. Board loves her because she delivers results. And the promotions? They're all… Let's just say your husband's not the first to move up the ladder from her bedroom. That night, I confronted Daniel with everything. 6 months? While I was planning our anniversary trip? You don't understand the pressure I'm under. You're always at the clinic with your patients. When was the last time you were actually there for me? So I deserve this because I have a career? That's not what I meant. I have the hotel receipts, Daniel. The weekend you said you were at that conference in Chicago? You never left town. His face changed then, from apologetic to cold. What do you want from me? You want me to beg? 2 days later, I got dragged to the company's quarterly mixer. I was ready to skip it, but Maya convinced me to go. Know your enemy's territory, she said. That's where I met him. Richard Reynolds, Vanessa's husband. Distinguished, silver-haired, completely clueless about what his wife was doing with my husband. Nyla, right? Daniel's wife? Vanessa speaks highly of his work. I bet she does. Walking home that night, something hardened inside me. Daniel wanted a clean break. Move out, quick divorce, split assets. Everyone moves on. Vanessa would keep climbing the corporate ladder on her back. Richard would stay oblivious. Not this time. I wasn't just walking away. They wanted to play games? Fine. Game on. I found Richard's business card from the mixer and called him the next day. This is unexpected. How can I help you, Nyla? I'm expanding my physical therapy practice. Thought you might have some insights on corporate wellness programs. I'd be delighted to discuss this over lunch. The insurance industry is always looking for preventative care partnerships. We met at a bistro downtown, and I played my part perfectly. The ambitious therapist looking to grow her business. Richard was surprisingly charming. Nothing like what I'd expected from Vanessa's husband. My wife works too much. I barely see her these days. Welcome to the club, pal. Must be hard with the company restructuring coming up. His eyebrows shot up. How did you know about that? It's not public yet. I smiled. My husband mentioned it. Office talk, you know. Back at Maya's apartment, I laid out what I'd learned. The board meeting is in 3 weeks. Vanessa will announce the company restructuring and Daniel's new executive position. Maya whistled. Perfect timing. But we need more than just their affair to make this stick. That's where Marcus comes in. I met Marcus at a coffee shop far from the office. He slid a USB drive across the table. Performance reviews for the last 5 executives Vanessa promoted. Notice the pattern. Glowing evaluations right after these hotel charges on the company card. Why are you helping me, Marcus? She passed me over for senior designer. Gave it to a guy with half my experience who plays golf with her husband. Back home, I found Daniel packing more clothes. You moving in with her already? It's not like that. We're just figuring things out. While you're figuring, you might want to delete those emails where you shared the Kellerman proposal with Apex competitors. His face went white. You had no right to go through my work emails. And you had no right to screw your boss while married to me. Yet here we are. After he left, I called Maya. I found something bigger. Daniel's been leaking confidential information to competitors. Holy shit, that's corporate espionage. Exactly. And I bet Vanessa has no idea. The next 2 weeks were a blur. Maya helped me organize everything. The affair timeline, the promotion pattern, the leaked documents. We created a digital presentation that could be easily accessed during the board meeting. The night before, Marcus called with the final piece. Boardroom setup is complete. The presentation you sent is loaded on the auxiliary input. Just press the button on the remote I left in your purse when you're ready. You're sure it'll work? Trust me, I've run the tech for these meetings for years. Vanessa never bothers to check the equipment herself. I barely slept that night. By morning, I felt strangely calm. I chose my outfit carefully. A professional blue dress, nothing flashy. I wanted to look like I belonged. Richard met me in the lobby as planned. Ready for your corporate wellness pitch? If only he knew what kind of wellness I was about to bring to this company. The elevator doors opened to the executive floor, and I took a deep breath. Time to clean house. The boardroom was all glass and chrome. Richard guided me to a seat near the back as Daniel shuffled papers at the front table. Vanessa swept in wearing a power suit, commanding the room from the podium. Today marks an exciting new chapter for our company. As part of our restructuring, I'm pleased to announce Daniel Harris will be taking over as Executive Marketing Director, reporting directly to me. Applause filled the room. Daniel stood, then froze when he spotted me. Before we continue, I'd like to say a few words. I stood, remote in hand. Excuse me, this is a closed meeting. Vanessa's voice sharpened. The board will want to hear this. I pressed the button. The screen changed to a timeline labeled, "The real reason for the promotion." Hotel receipts, text messages, and emails appeared. What is this? A board member leaned forward. Evidence that Vanessa Reynolds has been having an affair with my husband, Daniel Harris. An affair that coincidentally led to his promotion. Richard stood beside me. What the hell, Vanessa? It's not what it looks like, she stammered. I clicked to the next slide. It gets worse. Daniel has been sharing confidential proposals with Apex competitors. I forwarded everything to your legal department. The room erupted. Daniel tried approaching me, but security moved in. You've ruined everything, he hissed. No, you did that all by yourself. 3 weeks later, Daniel was fired for corporate espionage. Vanessa was removed pending an ethics review. Richard filed for divorce. Daniel showed up at my apartment, eyes red. Please, Nyla, I made a terrible mistake. We can fix this. There's nothing to fix. The divorce papers are with my lawyer. 5 years means nothing to you? It meant everything to me. That's why I'm standing here instead of lying down like a doormat. 6 months later, I cut the ribbon on New Beginnings physical therapy. Maya and Marcus stood beside me, now a couple after bonding through the drama. To fresh starts, Maya raised her champagne. And to knowing your worth, added Marcus. My phone buzzed with a text from Richard, who'd become an unexpected friend and had connected me with several corporate clients. I watched my first patients arrive, ready to help heal bodies while my own heart continued mending. The revenge hadn't fixed everything. Nothing could erase those months of betrayal, but standing in my own clinic, I finally felt like myself again. Some wounds leave scars, but scars remind you what you survived, and that you're stronger for it. What would you have done in Nyla's position? Was her public exposure of Daniel and Vanessa justified revenge? Or did she go too far by destroying both their careers? Would you have kept it private, or gone even bigger with your revenge? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had to deal with betrayal like this? And how did you handle it? If you enjoyed this story of sweet revenge, hit that like button so we can bring you more stories like this one. Subscribe to our channel for daily revenge stories that will satisfy your justice cravings. Turn on notifications so you never miss a new video.